Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today at the University of Calgary, which is on the traditional territory of the Treaty 7 peoples, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, and I would also like to note that the University of Calgary is situated on land adjacent to where the Bow River meets the Elbow River, and that the traditional Blackfoot name of this place is Mokinstis, which we now call the City of Calgary. We're very grateful to be able to work, live, and recreate in these beautiful lands. So again, thank you for being here, and thank you, Kelly, for cutting the music. My name is Kara Ross, and I'm an associate professor in psychology at Athabasca University and the current chair of the Center for Social Sciences. I'm also a recipient of one of AVA's early career researcher teaching releases and chair of the AVA Online Working Group. I am delighted to be your MC today as we gather here to celebrate the establishment of the new Alliance Against Violence and Adversity, or AVA, National Training Centre. The Canadian Institute of Health Research recently provided $2.55 million to fund this initiative, which is a network of more than 200 universities and community leaders from across Canada. Big applause, yes. And we are also gathered to celebrate 20 years of research in the Child Health Implementation and Longitudinal Development Studies, or CHILD Research Program, which provides the foundation for AVA and so many studies that make a difference in the lives of children and families. AVA is designed to address the rising rates of adverse childhood experience and family violence that have disproportionately and negatively impacted girls, women, and gender diverse people. Led by the University of Calgary's Dr. Nicole Letourneau, AVA aims to address the negative health impacts of early adversity, particularly family and gendered violence on Canadians. AVA provides innovative, community-focused, research-based training designed to improve the health and wellness of girls, women, and gender diverse peoples, and all Canadians. And today, Dr. Letourneau, along with university and community leaders and experts, will outline AVA's barrier-breaking training strategies and connection to the successful child studies program. And also, a reminder to everyone that AVA is an open tent with many opportunities for learning that we can all benefit from. So we invite everyone here today and everyone online to join us to work together to make things better for everyone. So again, thank you for all being here for this very special event. Now, after that, a couple of housekeeping things. You guys knew it was coming. The bathrooms are located just outside that back door down the hall, with additional bathrooms just beyond that and to the left. Campus security is the designated first respondent, and all security personnel are trained in first aid. In the event of an emergency, an alarm will sound throughout the building. Listen for the announcement that will accompany that and listen to the directions. If the announcement advises you to evacuate the building, follow the designated fire warden's instructions and calmly progress to the nearest exit. Yes. Our nearest exit will be out those front doors and turn right. The MacEwan Student Centre has an automated external defibrillator, AED, on site, which is located in the Lost and Found station. The MacEwan Student Centre also has a bleed kit available by the Lost and Found station. And if you are having an emergency, you can also talk to anyone with a Ask Me About AVA button, and we will be able to help you. All right, so now that we're all prepared in the case of an emergency, I want to introduce our first speaker this evening, Dr. Nicole Letourneau. In addition to being the scientific director of AVA and the principal investigator of CHILD, Dr. Letourneau is very extraordinary in her accomplishments. She is a professor in the Faculty of Nursing. I do have to focus on this for this. There's a lot, but yeah. She is professor in the Faculty of Nursing and Cummings School of Medicine in the departments of Pediatrics, Psychiatry, and Community Health Sciences here at the University of Calgary. She is the scientific director of AVA, the National Health Research Training Platform, and director of Research and Education for Solutions to Violence, or Resolve Alberta. She is the PI of the Child Health Intervention and Longitudinal Development, or Child Studies program, which examines parenting, child mental health and development in the context of maternal depression, family violence, and other toxic stressors. And her research established the Attach and VidKids parenting support programs, and you'll hear more about that from our speakers as we go on. And she has authored books such as Scientific Parenting, What Science Reveals About Parental Influence, as well as nearly 250 peer-reviewed papers. Yes, that's the right sound. She has attained many honors, including Canada's Top 40 Under 40 earlier in her career, and prestigious inductions into the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences and Canadian American Academies of Nursing. In 2020, she received the Canadian Nurses Association's highest honor for career contributions, the Jean Mance Award. So, she is also the past president of the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta and is the most followed professor of nursing on Twitter in the world, with more than 30,000 followers. Okay, yes. So here is Nicole. Thank you very much.
Hi, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming. I really am happy to see so many faces here, and it's great to have my kids here and hear that stuff. Yeah, it's just, all those hours I'm away, this is why. So, and I really wanted to make sure I didn't talk too much, because I could talk really a long time about all these things. So I'm going to try and keep to my notes. So thank you for being here to celebrate the launch of AVA, which happens to coincide with the 20-year anniversary of the research program, Child Health Implementation and Longitudinal Development Studies program. And just before we get in to dig into the talk here, I wanted to do the AVA land acknowledgement that our Indigenous Knowledge Champion Malcolm King recommends we use at every meeting, because we are a national group. So we encourage all Canadians and visitors to Canada to learn about the Indigenous people of the lands in which they live, work, or visit, and become engaged allies together. We as Canadians, in the spirit of truth and reconciliation, respect the self-determination of First Nations, Métis and Inuit, and their rights and responsibilities in cultures, languages, and the pursuit of wellness. So what is AVA? What are we doing exactly? You kind of are starting to get a hint, but AVA's mission is to help reduce family violence and early childhood adversity exposure to improve Canada's UNICEF rankings, to improve health and wellness, obviously, but improve Canada's health rankings as well, especially for girls, women, and gender-diverse people. And, by the way, we also care about men and boys. It's just that the funding envelope that we're funded in is about girls, women, and gender-diverse people, and that is our major focus. But just to give you a little context, Canada does very poorly in the UNICEF rankings, and we have been doing poorly for years, and we're in decline. So UNICEF rankings happen every 2 or 3 years, and we are ranked against about 38 other countries. And in the most recent rankings a couple of years ago, Canada's children ranked 30th on physical health out of 38 nations, 31st out of 38 nations on mental health, and 35th on suicidality. So we need to do something about this, and it's been getting worse, as I said, over time. So what AVA is doing to try and address this is to create capacity to transform community health and social services, how they're delivered. We're doing this by collaborative, innovative, cross-sectoral, cross-disciplinary, cross-jurisdictional training. And in so doing, we'll promote health and wellness of girls and women and gender-diverse people at risk or affected by violence and adversity. And ultimately, our ambition is to have positive lifespan, intergenerational, and population health impacts. So, just a little, a little thing. So, as you'll hear me talking about to you, as we go around the room, we are looking to leverage this platform too. There'll be much. We're looking for funding for research, funding for engagement, because I think this is a great start. But we really need more to do what we need to do. And so, that is our plan. Our plan is to train researchers and community partners in collaboration to address the gaps that we see. And so we are providing training in implementation science and community-engaged research. We're providing training to both academics and community partners to implement and evaluate evidence-based innovations, programs, solutions, and interventions. And this should help reduce barriers and eliminate the silos that we think are contributing to the poor health outcomes for children in Canada. And ultimately, we're working to develop national capacity in implementation science and community-engaged research. And you heard we have 200 partners, and it's growing, as we said. We're always looking for new folks to join our team and give them the opportunities that we have. And you can see they're from all across the country, and all regions of the country are represented, except Newfoundland, as I was saying. And I have an in from a conversation earlier today. So that we'd like to correct that. We'd like to make sure the opportunities are equitably offered across the country. And so how are we doing this? And I can spend a lot of time talking about the various programs, but I won't, because I want to make sure you hear from everyone else. But we have triadic mentorship opportunities, which means that a scholar, a graduate student, or postdoctoral fellow is paired with an academic and a community agency leader and gets mentorship from them in a very systematic way. And then we have the community agency internship, which is free for community organizations to have a outstanding scholar work with them to help them do something of value in their organization. We have the AVA Online learning resource that you heard Kara talk about, and I think it's going to become an outstanding repository of materials for people all across the country, and not just in AVA, but we are connected with all the other health research training platforms, and they're going to be able to access all of our materials too, and us theirs. So AVA Online is going to be an outstanding, or is an outstanding resource already, and this is going to grow and grow. We're also training together in strategic planning, development, and evaluation. We wanted to make sure that all the AVA partners were on the same page, moving in the same direction, and going to be evaluating the things that we do together. But we're using a really cool strategy that's intended to transform systems. So again, I could tell you more about that, or you can check out all this on the website too. I just wanted to do a plug for that. And then you've heard us talk about implementation science. That's the foundation of everything that we're doing. And we have early career research awards, as you heard Kara. She's one of our recipients. So what are our expected outcomes? Well, we plan to improve lifespan health for girls, women, and gender diverse people who are at risk of violence and adversity. And we expect to contribute by creating a new cadre of health and social services researchers that are poised to do community engaged work to address this problem. And we're working hard with our community organizations, our partners, to develop their capacity and desire to work with researchers so we can actually work in collaboration to improve supports and services for girls, women, and gender diverse people. And by transforming population health and social services research training, we will develop, deliver, test, and integrate innovations across sectors. We'll be able to facilitate that. We'll contribute to improved support for families that these organizations are delivering in the community, and thereby reducing early childhood adversities, especially gendered violence, promote lifespan and intergenerational health and wellness, because most of what we're doing is 2-generational kinds of work, and ultimately reduce costs of people, families, and society. And now just talking a little bit about how this all fits into the Child Studies Program. So the Child Studies Program is the umbrella organization that AVA comes under. And we're celebrating 20 years of work together, and you've met probably a lot of people from the child team here, and I just want to say I'm very grateful to you all for all the work you did today and just all the time to make sure that we do have these impacts. And our goal in child is to prevent toxic stress. So these are the things like parental depression and violence, low income, from negatively impacting children's healthy development. And again, check out the website if you want to go into more detail about the objectives. I cut all that out of the presentation, even though some people said, we love those slides. But anyhow, so where are we now? So you heard about AVA. It's our new training platform that we think fits beautifully into what we're trying to do at Child. And we have something called the VidKids program, which is an intervention program for mothers with depression and their infants, which we've found to be effective. And the Attach program, which you're going to hear a lot more about. And APRIN, which is the very successful Alberta Pregnancy Outcomes and Nutrition cohort of 2,200 families. And we have Deb Dewey here, who's actually on that team, and I'm really excited about we've got 140 papers that have come out of that work, and it's really making impacts. And in terms of where we're going, Attach, you'll hear more about, as I said, it's scaling across Canada and internationally to Brazil already, and Cameroon, and we're looking to adapt it for teens and for Indigenous families. We're also currently in the process of getting going with VidKids and Attach, testing the online delivery of those programs to increase the accessibility of those programs for parents. And for APRIN, we're looking at new grants to examine how genes and environment interact in predicting mental health problems in youth, and trying to understand so that we can actually intervene in better ways. We'd like APRIN, this longitudinal cohort, to transition to an intergenerational cohort, because the kids we've been following now for 12, 13 years will soon be, time flies, and they'll soon be parents themselves. We want to be prepared for that, even though we hope it's not too soon. And then one of the most innovative things I think that we're doing is around technoference, and we're looking at creating a website that we will be providing tips for parents around, how to avoid technoference from becoming a toxic stressor to their relationship with their child. It's things like using mobile phones too much and interfering with infant development. I'm almost done. And but just in terms of findings, we heard about a number of publications, but we have been interviewed about our work a lot of times in the media a lot. It says 179 opinion editorials. That's about 18 opinion editorials that have appeared multiple times in multiple places all across Canada, Globe and Mail and that sort of thing. And books, about 3 books, well, not about 3 books, and then 43 book contributions and chapters and things. So these are the kind of things that we've been doing to get the word out. And in terms of funding, I just want to point out that with respect to donor funding, we've been very fortunate to have donors provide support to our research program over the years, and we did some math, and for every dollar that we've received from donors, we've been able to leverage that into $31 plus back that goes to the research program to do this, what we think is very important work. So I just want to say thanks to the donors, and particularly Margaret Newell, who actually really was a huge help to us in the last few years. So thank you for your support, and thank you for being here, and I look forward to Kara inviting our next speaker. Thanks.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you very much. So next I would like to introduce Carleen Donnelly. Carleen is an internationally respected leader and consultant in the nonprofit and social services sector. Again, I have to pay attention for this. For over 25 years, Carleen has worked as an executive leader and consultant dedicated to improving the lives of individuals and families. She is currently the executive director of CUPS, an organization that provides vital housing, health, and education support to vulnerable Calgarian adults, families, and children. Under Carleen's leadership, CUPS has undergone significant change and growth. They have focused on evidence and impacts in the community and achieved and maintained a top 10 spot on Canadian impact charities by Charity Intelligence Canada. Her passion for creating a better world for children and families has led her to participate in high-profile research and advocacy projects like AVA, and she actually chairs AVA's Platform Advisory Committee, which oversees all of AVA's activities. So Carleen, I turn it over to you.
Thank you. I don't know about you, but sometimes I hear my bio and I think, who are they talking about? It's been a lot of fun. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here, and I know we've been doing this for a little while, but it's nice to have the official launch. It is absolutely my pleasure to be here today. I'm honored to be able to speak about my work at CUPS and how it aligns to AVA Health Research Training Platform and the Child Study Research Platform. I can honestly say that AVA and the Child Studies Research Program helps advance the work we do at CUPS. And I do think that we help also our work advance AVA and other programs achieve its goals too. CUPS is an organization that works with low-income families and individuals who have been impacted by poverty and trauma, and we work with them to help them become more self-sufficient and independent and to have the skills and abilities to do what they need to do. And that really does require a lot of deep diving into all the things that have happened to them in their younger years. AVA has a mission, as you know, to create capacity to transform population health and social service to promote the health and wellness of girls, women, and gender diverse people at risk or affected by gender violence and adversity over the life cycle. Child Studies Research Program, on the other hand, focuses on understanding the impacts of socio-environmental exposures on children's mental health, neurodevelopment, and other health outcomes. Although it may seem that all of our organizations and programs may look different at first glance, they all share a very important common goal. That is improving the lives of vulnerable individuals and families. Collaborations among such groups as CUPS, AVA, and the Child Studies Research Program can most definitely help further all of our missions in many, many ways. First, AVA's objectives of strengthening and building capacity to the mission stated above is directly aligned with CUPS goals of providing integrated healthcare, housing, and education to vulnerable people. Through their innovative, cross-sectorial, and interdisciplinary training platform, AVA can train hundreds of Canadian service providers and academics in the social service community health working field with this population, which also helps improve the quality of care provided to CUPS clients. Secondly, both AVA and the Child Studies Research Program have a shared focus of reducing family violence and adversity, which can greatly benefit CUPS clients who have, in many, many cases, if not most, have experienced trauma or abuse in the past. The Child Studies Research Program, subject of understanding the underlying mechanisms, mediators, and moderators that affect the association between socio-environmental exposures and children's outcomes, can also help inform interventions to support vulnerable children's mental health, neurodevelopment, and other health outcomes in families affected by parental prenatal depression and anxiety, family violence, and of course, adverse childhood experiences. Thirdly, AVA's guiding principles, which is extremely important to us at CUPS, of equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility, and sex and gender-based analysis align with CUPS' mission of helping those who are the most in need. Regardless of their background and identity, that's who we help. By addressing inequalities and health disparities disproportionately impacting women, girls, and gender-diverse people, AVA can help ensure that CUPS clients do receive the care they need. And I would also add that our staff are constantly given opportunities through these programs and research opportunities for professional developed learning opportunities that are critical for not only the programs and services we can provide to our participants and clients that come through the door, but also to that continuously learning for our staff to really be the best prepared that they can be in these complex situations. Finally, I believe that nonprofit, and I firmly believe this, and social service sector have way more potential to further scale up positive outcomes for children and families. And by collaborating on such projects together, as I am with AVA, we can provide and enhance opportunities for this potential. For all these reasons, I am delighted to help AVA build this capacity across Canada. Delivering evidence-based services, which is very another important passion of mine, to equity-deserving families is a cause that is very close to my heart, and I am passionate to help AVA work toward this goal too. This is why I couldn't turn down the opportunity to chair the Platform Advisory Committee when Nicole asked me to chair. Besides that, you cannot say no to Nicole. You might not want to, but you still cannot. Chairing this committee, I've learned about AVA's programs, and many members of my team are also engaged, including Ray Downey, Nicole Williams, and Gwen McHale. Gwen is here tonight as well. I'm convinced that together with AVA, we can multiply efforts to build a difference and create a positive impact on families, not only in Calgary, but across Canada. I actually did bridge her with PEI, so we got one province down. Also, Attach emerged as a partnership between CUPS and Nicole's team. Hi, Nicole's team, love you. And and we are, and certainly CUPS team members, of course, and we have Teresa here tonight, who will speak in a minute. And we've been co-creating the Attach program within CUPS. CUPS families have taken part in Attach and really benefit from this innovative parenting program. We deliver this program still today at CUPS. One of our Attach facilitators, an amazing staff member of CUPS, Teresa, and I'm going to try and say your last name. God love me, I'm from the Maritimes, remember that. Kalawali Leka? Am I close? I'm close. She's amazing, just I'm not good at pronunciations. We'll speak to you in a few minutes about her experience with delivering this terrific program to our clients. In conclusion, AVA and the Child Studies Research Program missions and objectives are very closely aligned with CUP's mission of assisting those living with the adversity of poverty and traumatic events to become self-sufficient. By working together, we can improve the lives of vulnerable families and individuals and help build a more equitable and just society. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlene. All right, next to present is Dr. Susan Graham, who is an eminent researcher in the field of language and cognitive development during the infancy and preschool years. She is professor in the Department of Psychology at the University of Calgary, director of the Owerko Center for Neurodevelopment and Child Mental Health, and scientific director for the Israeli, I hope I pronounced that right, Israeli Accelerator, close enough, sorry, an initiative to enhance collaborations across the university, in the community, and throughout the global network. She has received the Killam Research Excellence Award, the Killam Annual Professor Award, and a Canada Research Chair, to name just a few of her accomplishments. So please give a warm welcome to Dr. Susan Graham.
I don't like to stand next to Kara. She's too tall. So I'm really happy to be here. First of all, because I've been on Zoom all day and it's really nice to see three-dimensional people. Also because I think this is a really wonderful occasion. I'm really grateful to be included in the celebration of both the launch of AVA and the celebration of the Child Studies Child Studies Research Program. See, I'm going off script so much that I worried that I said the thing. So the Child Studies Research Program and AVA are situated at the AWRCO Center, and our signature research programs in our research center. We're a donor-named research center. We live within the Alberta Children's Hospital Research Institute, so we benefit from philanthropy, as Nicole has mentioned before, from our very generous community here in Calgary. And our focus is on taking a very interdisciplinary approach to studying neurodevelopment and child mental health. So you can see why these two programs fit so beautifully within our center. And the other thing I just want to mention is that the programs like Nicole's and the Child Studies program with all of the team, as well as Apron, these are the programs that led the University of Calgary to have such a strong foundation in child health and wellness that we actually were the recipient of a very large Canada First Research Excellence Fund Award, One Child, Every Child, that was announced last Friday. It's a $126 million grant from the federal government, so thank you. And really, I think it's thanks to the strong foundation for researchers here that has really enabled us to be so well positioned to receive that grant. And so now we have to go in and do all the things. So, okay, now I should go back to my notes, I guess. So I also want to congratulate Nicole, because even though apparently this grant was announced a while ago, yesterday in Ottawa, Minister Carolyn Bennett announced CIHR funding for the ATTACH program, as well as some other programs, as part of a federal initiative as we move towards developing a child health strategy for Canada. So you can see the stars are all aligning. So. Okay, so the Child Studies program, maybe I don't need to say this because of course it all aligns so beautifully, and I'll cut to some of the other core components. So the other thing, sorry Nicole, I know you wrote these great notes, but I think the other thing that's really striking to me as I listen to your presentation and I think about the work that's been done and listen to Carleen, is that this work really embodies a community engagement and a community partnership, and that is a core component of both the AWRCO Center and the University of Calgary and our new One Child, Every Child. So I think it's really exciting to see that. The other thing I really want to point out is that the guiding principles that are embodied in AVA around equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility, as well as sex and gender-based analysis, they're at the core of these initiatives. They're also at the core of the University of Calgary's commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. And I think that all of us here, and we can see how we can support AVA through this, are committed to addressing these kind of inequities and inequalities and health disparities that we know are really disproportionately affecting women and girls and gender diverse individuals, as well as in really sort of paying attention to these intersectional identities as we go forward. It's super exciting for me to think and learn about how you're going to train hundreds of Canadian service providers and academics in core, what I would consider, now I'm editorializing, under-resourced areas in Canada. And I think this work will help sort of have this kind of bi-directional or multi-directional partnerships with community agencies and researchers and training institutions that will really create this very collaborative and innovative training platform. I think AVA will really focus on intergenerational and population impacts and promote a positive lifespan. I think through these collaborations, we will, so I'll just be more positive, we will work towards reducing family violence and adversity. And along with CFREF, as we walk along together, we'll hopefully improve Canada's UNICEF rankings, because as you heard, they are appalling for a country as wealthy as ours. So I think really in conclusion, I'm very excited that the AVA platform is living at the AWRCO Center, and I'm really excited to see where things go together. So congratulations on both the platform and 20 years of the Child Studies program.
Thank you, Susan. Now I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Sandra Davidson. Dr. Davidson is the Dean of the Faculty of Nursing at the University of Calgary and has extensive experience in both academic and practice environments. Dr. Davidson experience, Dr. Davidson experience includes serving as the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs in the Faculty of Nursing at the University of Alberta, as well as holding a variety of positions in the United States, including Dean of Nursing and then Senior Director of Academic Affairs for Carrington College, based in Phoenix, Arizona, and as the Director of the Master of Healthcare Innovation Program at Arizona State University. She has also served as the Organizational Development and Clinical Education Specialist for Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Goodyear, Arizona, where she worked with the Vice President of Patient Care Services and nursing staff. So please welcome Dean Davidson.
Somebody took the notes.
Oh, I just have my own.
My worst nightmare. And I checked before to make sure they were there. Anyway, this is the going off script part, right? So thank you everyone for being here. It's a pleasure to be here, and I feel again, it's 20 years of work that has culminated in this wonderful AVA training platform. Is just the latest accomplishment in a very valuable program of research. And as Dean of Nursing, I'm just thrilled to support this and to be able to, with pride, say that Dr. Nicola Turno's work is based, her academic home is in the Faculty of Nursing. So we struggle with the AWRCO, so we'll share. But we're just absolutely thrilled to support the work that Nicole and her teams are doing. And AVA is, as I said, just the latest success. So it's no surprise that the Faculty of Nursing, of course, has a strong mission that is related to research, where we are leading the generation of research and scholarship that will improve and innovate nursing education, health outcomes, and systems transformation. And you've heard that through the remarks already made and from Nicole's presentation. And of course, AVA's mission aligns perfectly with the goals of creating capacity to transform population health, social services, and to promote the health and wellness of girls, women, and gender diverse people affected by gendered violence and adversity. And by working collaboratively and cross-disciplinarity, which we've heard all about, AVA and the Faculty of Nursing can generate new knowledge that will improve the health outcomes of the vulnerable population. And I think I'm going to go off script too. One of the other pieces, I'm proud to be in the business of educating the next generation of healthcare researchers, healthcare providers, and fostering the capacity of our many community partners. And this just fits so well with that. And to think about the future. As we've heard, there's a lot of heavy lifting ahead, a lot of things to change, but the way that we are poised, and as you've said, the stars are aligning, Dr. Graham. And the momentum is there, which is really, really exciting. I'm also hearing stories of our undergraduate students that are now learning evidence-informed practices right from day one as nursing students and having experiences in many of our community partners, such as CUPS, so that they're really learning and applying that evidence firsthand from the first day that they become nursing students, and that's really exciting. And same goes for their nursing, all of our researchers, whether they're from nursing or other disciplinary backgrounds. Having this strong foundation of 20 years to build upon is amazing, and it's just standing on the shoulder of giants, really, and we can reach for those stars. So that's absolutely fantastic. In conclusion, as I said, AVA's mission and objectives and guiding principles are the perfect alignment of our own mission, vision, and values for the Faculty of Nursing. And through ongoing collaboration and cross-disciplinary work, we can generate the new knowledge and improve the health outcomes of girls, women, gender diverse people affected by gendered violence and adversity. And with that, thank you all for being here, and look forward to all that is to come.
Thank you, Dean Davidson. It's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Teresa Kowalalik. Oh my gosh, did I butcher that? Sorry. I'm not going to try it again, I'm sorry. She is a valued member, and I had it earlier too. I told them as soon as I'd get up here I was going to muck it up, but here we go. She is a valued member of the Family Development Center at CUPS, where she provides support to families to help them reach their goals. She has extensive experience in parenting programs, including the Nurturing Parenting and Circle of Security parenting programs, and most notably for us today has been trained to deliver the Attach program and is a valued Attach facilitator, delivering parenting support to equity-deserving families at CUPS. Attach is an exemplar of the kind of community-engaged work that AVA intends to promote across Canada. So without further ado, please welcome Teresa.
I don't know if you want to hear, how do you say the last name? Okay. Teresa Kowalalak. So I just think of koala bear. It's just easy to remember. Anyways, I'm so honored to be here today to share with you my experience and the valuable insights I have gained through my work. I was born and raised right here in Calgary, Alberta, and I have devoted my career to helping parents be the best role models for their children. Throughout my life, my passion for giving back to the community has only continued to grow. Over the past 15 years, I have worked with a variety of organizations to support their missions and help those they serve. These diverse experiences have prepared me well for the work that I do today. It has been such a positive experience for me working as an Attached facilitator, so I'm just really touched that you guys reached out to me to talk about this, so thank you. There were a lot of learning curves in the beginning, but the Attached team, specifically Virginia and Lubna and Kelly, were always there to support me in any way that I needed. I have seen the parents I work with come out really strong after they have completed the program. The information that I gathered from the parents that I worked with was so meaningful and informative. Some common themes I found were that parents valued the one-on-one quality playtime they spent with their child. They've become more patient and empathetic. They are not only able to recognize and reflect on their own thoughts and feelings, but they have a greater understanding of the thoughts and feelings of their children as well. Being able to view the world through their child's eyes has been such a transformational learning experience for the parents I worked with. As wonderful an experience as this was for the parents, it was also a very eye-opening experience for me. I connected with this program immediately as it helped me identify what was missing in my own childhood in the way I was raised. Throughout this process, I often found myself reflecting on my own personal challenges, where they come from, and making connections to the now and then, and how my past has shaped who I am today. I have become more aware of who I am and who I want to be, and this has been a result of a key pillar of the Attach program, which is engaging in the reflection process. This program has played an instrumental role in helping me develop essential tools that I didn't receive as a child. Facilitating this program to caregivers and children will strengthen their relationship, and in turn, children will have greater potential to be confident, secure human beings because they had that one person in their life who showed up for them and supported them no matter what the circumstance. Having this insight as an Attached facilitator, I know this program will continue to help families increase their self-awareness, break negative cycles, and start a new positive pathway for their family. This program is already changing families for the better, and I'm so grateful to be part of the change of future families that participate in this program. So it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience as being an Attached facilitator, as it will help me and my growing family. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Teresa, for sharing your personal experience with us as an Attached facilitator. All right, everyone, that's our program. So thank you to everyone who joined us today to celebrate the launch of the AVA Training Center, a collaborative effort to improve the health and wellness of girls, women, and gender-diverse individuals across Canada. And we were very honored today to have had Dr. Nicole Letourneau and all of our guest speakers to share their expertise and insights on this important project. So again, a big thank you to everyone. And as a final word, please connect with the AVA Training Center if you would like to find out how you can help create better futures for girls, women, and gender-diverse individuals across Canada. However you want to get involved, please approach us. We are looking forward to continuing this important work together. So thank you. Please enjoy food, please enjoy drinks, circulate. Thank you very much.